Welcome to Serenity Whispers, your sanctuary for peaceful slumber, where you will find soothing sounds to guide you into the realm of restful dreams. As usual, before we embark on our journey through storytelling, I invite you to take a moment to create a serene and tranquil space for yourself. Find a comfortable spot where you can truly relax. A cherished armchair, a soft blanket cocoon, or even a cozy corner bathed in soft, calming light. As we immerse ourselves in the upcoming story, I encourage you to disconnect from the hustle and bustle of the outside world. Gently set aside any distractions, whether they be buzzing devices or lingering thoughts. Consider making a cup of your favorite soothing tea, or closing your eyes for a few deep, grounding breaths. In the minutes that follow, we'll venture into the realms of imagination and wonder, and it's important that you are fully present to experience the magic unfolding before you. Allow yourself to become part of the story, to feel the emotions it evokes, and to journey alongside our characters. Now, with your senses finely attuned and your heart open to the unfolding adventure, let us begin. Welcome to a collection of fairy tales that I have created for you. These are stories that will take you to different worlds and times, where you will meet various characters and creatures. These are stories that will teach you valuable lessons and inspire you to think and feel. These are stories that will entertain you and make you happy. The first story is called The Tale of the Golden Fish. It is a story about a poor fisherman who caught a magical fish that could grant wishes, but he and his wife became greedy and lost everything. It is a story that shows the consequences of being ungrateful and selfish. The second story is called The Tale of the Three Brothers. It is a story about three brothers who had to pay a price to cross a river, a mountain, and a desert, and how their choices affected their lives. It is a story that shows the importance of being wise and humble. The last story is called The Tale of the Brave Knight. It is a story about a brave knight who was sent to slay a dragon, but he ended up befriending it and overthrowing an evil king. It is a story that shows the power of friendship and justice. I hope you enjoy listening to these fairy tales as much as I enjoyed creating them. Once upon a time, there was a poor fisherman who lived with his wife in a small hut by the sea. Every day, he would go out to catch fish for their food and sell the extra ones in the market. One day, he caught a beautiful golden fish that shone like the sun. The fish spoke to him and said, "Please, spare my life and let me go. I am not an ordinary fish, but a magical one. If you release me, I will grant you any wish you desire." The fisherman was amazed and thought for a moment. He did not want to be greedy, so he said, "I have everything I need, except for a bigger house for me and my wife. Can you make that happen?" The fish nodded and said, "Go home, and you will find your wish fulfilled. But remember, do not tell anyone about me or my magic, or you will lose everything." The fisherman agreed and threw the fish back into the sea. He hurried home and was astonished to see that his hut had turned into a spacious and comfortable house. His wife was overjoyed and hugged him. They thanked their good fortune and lived happily for a while. But soon, his wife became restless and dissatisfied. She said to her husband, "Why did you ask for such a small thing? We could have been rich and powerful. Go back to the sea and find that fish again. Tell him to make us the rulers of this land." The fisherman was reluctant, but he loved his wife and wanted to please her. So he went back to the sea and called out for the fish. The golden fish appeared and asked him what he wanted. The fisherman said, "My wife is not happy with our house. She wants us to be the rulers of this land. Can you do that?" The fish sighed and said, "I told you not to be greedy, but I will grant your wish. Go home, and you will find your wish fulfilled. But remember, do not tell anyone about me or my magic, or you will lose everything." The fisherman agreed and went home. He was shocked to see that his house had turned into a magnificent palace. His wife was dressed in fine clothes and jewels. She welcomed him as her king and ordered the servants to prepare a feast. They thanked their good fortune and lived happily for a while. But soon, his wife became restless and dissatisfied again. She said to her husband, "Why did you ask for such a small thing? We could have been more than rulers of this land. We could have been masters of the sea and the sky. Go back to the sea and find that fish again. Tell him to make us gods." The fisherman was horrified, but he loved his wife and wanted to please her. So he went back to the sea and called out for the fish. The golden fish appeared and asked him what he wanted. The fisherman said, "My wife is not happy with our palace. She wants us to be gods. Can you do that?" The fish was angry and said, "You have gone too far. You have broken your promise and told others about me and my magic. You have been greedy and ungrateful. Now you will pay the price." The fish disappeared in a flash of light. The fisherman ran home and was terrified to see that his palace had turned back into a hut. His wife was dressed in rags and scolded him for losing everything. They had nothing left but their old fishing net. They realized their mistake and begged for forgiveness. They learned to be content with what they had and lived humbly ever after. Once upon a time, there were 3 brothers who lived in a forest. They were hunters and trappers, and they shared everything they had. One day, they decided to go on a long journey to find a new place to live. They packed their bags and set off. Along the way, they came across a river that was too wide and deep to cross. They looked for a bridge or a boat, but they found none. They were about to give up when they saw an old man standing on the other side of the river. He waved at them and said, "Hello, travelers. I can help you cross this river if you are willing to pay me a price." The brothers were curious and asked him what he wanted. The old man said, "I want one of you to stay with me as my companion. I am lonely and bored, and I need someone to talk to and play with. You can choose among yourselves who will stay with me, and the other 2 can cross the river and continue their journey." The brothers were surprised and hesitant. They did not want to leave one of them behind, but they also did not want to turn back. They discussed among themselves and decided to draw lots. The eldest brother drew the shortest lot and had to stay with the old man. The old man smiled and said, "Thank you for your sacrifice. Come with me, and I will show you my home." He led the eldest brother to a cave that was hidden behind a waterfall. The cave was cozy and comfortable, and it had everything the old man needed. He said to the eldest brother, "This is where I live. You can have anything you want here, as long as you keep me company." The eldest brother agreed and settled in the cave. He soon found out that the old man was not only lonely and bored, but also very playful and mischievous. He liked to tell stories and jokes, but he also liked to tease and prank the eldest brother. He would hide his things, make funny noises, or tickle him when he was sleeping. The eldest brother tried to be patient and polite, but he soon grew tired and annoyed of the old man's antics. He said to the old man, "Please, stop bothering me. I have done what you asked me to do. I have stayed with you as your companion. Now let me go and join my brothers." The old man said, "No, you cannot go. You have made a deal with me, and you must keep it. You are mine now, and you will never leave me." The eldest brother realized that he had made a terrible mistake. He had given up his freedom for nothing. He was trapped in the cave with the old man forever. Meanwhile, the other two brothers crossed the river and continued their journey. They missed their eldest brother, but they hoped that he was happy with his choice. They traveled for many days and nights until they reached a mountain that was covered with snow. They looked for a path or a tunnel, but they found none. They were about to give up when they saw an old woman standing on the other side of the mountain. She waved at them and said, "Hello, travelers. I can help you cross this mountain if you're willing to pay me a price." The brothers were curious and asked her what she wanted. The old woman said, "I want one of you to stay with me as my helper. I am weak and frail, and I need someone to take care of me. You can choose among yourselves who will stay with me, and the other one can cross the mountain and continue his journey." The brothers were surprised and hesitant again. They did not want to leave one of them behind again, but they also did not want to turn back again. They discussed among themselves again and decided to draw lots again. The middle brother drew the shortest lot again and had to stay with the old woman. The old woman smiled and said, "Thank you for your sacrifice. Come with me, and I will show you my home." She led the middle brother to a hut that was hidden behind a snowdrift. The hut was cold and damp, and it had nothing but a bed and a fireplace. She said to the middle brother, "This is where I live. You can have nothing here except for what I give you." The middle brother agreed and settled in the hut. He soon found out that the old woman was not only weak and frail, but also very demanding and ungrateful. She wanted him to do everything for her: cook her food, fetch her water, chop her wood, clean her clothes, massage her feet, etc. She never thanked him or praised him. She only complained or scolded him. She said to him, "You are lazy, you are stupid, you are useless, you can't do anything right. You should be grateful that I let you stay with me." The middle brother tried to be diligent and respectful, but he soon grew weary and resentful of the old woman's commands. He said to her, "Please, stop nagging me. I have done what you asked me to do. I have stayed with you as your helper. Now let me go and join my brothers." The old woman said, "No, you cannot go. You have made a deal with me, and you must keep it. You are mine now, and you will never leave me." The middle brother realized that he had made a terrible mistake. He had given up his happiness for nothing. He was stuck in the hut with the old woman forever. Meanwhile, the youngest brother crossed the mountain and continued his journey. He missed his brothers, but he hoped that they were happy with their choices. He traveled for many more days and nights until he reached a desert that was hot and dry. He looked for an oasis or a well, but he found none. He was about to give up when he saw an old camel standing on the other side of the desert. The camel waved at him and said, "Hello, traveler. I can help you cross this desert if you are willing to pay me a price." The brother was curious and asked him what he wanted. The camel said, "I want you to stay with me as my friend. I am lonely and sad, and I need someone to talk to and share with. You can stay with me, and we can cross the desert together." The brother was surprised and touched. He did not want to leave the camel alone, but he also did not want to give up his journey. He thought for a while and said, "I appreciate your offer, but I cannot stay with you forever. I have a dream that I want to pursue. Can we make a deal? I will stay with you as your friend until we cross the desert, and then we will part ways as friends." The camel smiled and said, "That sounds fair to me. Thank you for your kindness. Come with me, and I will show you my home." He led the brother to a tent that was hidden behind a sand dune. The tent was warm and cozy, and it had everything the camel needed. He said to the brother, "This is where I live. You can have anything you want here, as long as you share it with me." The brother agreed and settled in the tent. He soon found out that the camel was not only lonely and sad, but also very wise and generous. He liked to tell stories and riddles, but he also liked to listen and learn from the brother. He would share his food, water, blankets, books, etc. with him. He said to him, "You are brave, you are smart, you are wonderful. You can do anything you want. You should be proud of yourself." The brother was happy and grateful for the camel's friendship. He said to him, "Thank you for being so nice to me. You are my best friend. I wish we could stay together forever." The camel said, "You are welcome. You are my best friend too. But I know you have a dream that you want to pursue, and I want you to be happy." The brother realized that he had made a wonderful choice. He had found a true friend who supported him. They crossed the desert together and reached the other side. They hugged each other and said goodbye. They promised to keep in touch and never forget each other. They went their separate ways as friends, and they lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, there was a brave knight who was loyal and courageous. He served his king and his country with honor and devotion. He fought many battles and won many victories. He was respected and admired by all. One day, the king called him and said, "My faithful knight, I have a quest for you. There is a dragon that lives in a cave near the border of our kingdom. It has been terrorizing the nearby villages, burning their crops and stealing their livestock. I want you to go and slay the dragon and bring me its head as proof of your deed." The knight accepted the quest and said, "I will do as you command, my king. I will go and slay the dragon and bring you its head." He mounted his horse and took his sword and shield. He rode to the cave where the dragon lived. He entered the cave and saw the dragon sleeping on a pile of gold and jewels. It was huge and scaly, with horns, claws, teeth, and a long tail. It breathed fire and smoke from its nostrils. The knight drew his sword and approached the dragon quietly. He raised his sword and was about to strike when the dragon opened its eyes and saw him. The dragon said, "Who are you? What are you doing here? Do you want to die?" The knight said, "I am a knight of the king. I am here to slay you and bring your head to my king. You are a menace to the people and a threat to the kingdom." The dragon said, "You are a fool to challenge me. I am stronger than you and smarter than you. You cannot defeat me. You should flee while you can." The knight said, "I am not afraid of you. I am brave and loyal. I will not flee. I will fight you until one of us falls." The dragon said, "Very well then. Let us see who is the better warrior." They fought fiercely for a long time. The knight slashed with his sword and blocked with his shield. The dragon bit with its teeth and whipped with its tail. They wounded each other many times, but neither of them gave up. They fought until they were both exhausted and bleeding. They stopped for a moment and looked at each other. They said to each other, "You are a worthy opponent. You are a noble adversary." They felt respect and admiration for each other. They said to each other, "Why do we have to fight? Why do we have to kill?" They realized that they had no reason to hate each other. They realized that they had been manipulated by the king. They realized that they had been used as pawns in his game. They said to each other, "Let us end this madness. Let us make peace." They agreed to stop fighting and become friends. They left the cave together and went to the king's castle. They confronted the king and said, "We have come to tell you the truth. We have not killed each other. We have spared each other's lives. We have become friends. We have learned that you are the real enemy. You are the one who has been terrorizing the people and stealing their wealth. You are the one who has been lying and scheming. You are the one who deserves to die." The king was shocked and angry. He ordered his guards to arrest them and execute them. But the people who had heard their story rose up against him. They said, "We have had enough of your tyranny. We have had enough of your greed. We have had enough of your lies. We will not follow you anymore. We will follow them." They joined forces with the knight and the dragon. They stormed the castle and overthrew the king. They crowned the knight as their new king. They welcomed the dragon as their new friend. They lived happily ever after.